Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our goal here, as always, is to take sources on a topic. Could be simple, could be complex, and really pull out the key knowledge you can actually use so you feel, ready to go. Today we're looking at something super common, but sometimes, honestly, a bit stressful. Answering that question, tell me about yourself.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah, it sounds simple, but it trips people up. This deep dive comes from a really great guide designed to make this whole thing clearer and boost your confidence. Our mission today isn't just like memorizing phrases, it's about understanding the structure behind a good introduction. We want to turn that little moment of panic into something easy, friendly, using simple, clear sentences.
Exactly. Think of it like we're building an introduction toolkit for you. You might need this when you start a new class or maybe meet a new client, join a club, lots of places. And the core idea from the sources is you need these four main points, let's call them essentials, to set the scene.
That's right. And we start simple. Clarity is just so important when you're first meeting people.
Okay, so let's unpack those first four essential points. These are like the anchors for your introduction.
Right. The first anchor is, well, obviously your name. It's like the handshake, isn't it? The phrase is super direct. My name is name. The examples we saw were just, my name is Paul or my name is Emily. Simple, friendly. You absolutely need it.
Yeah, can't skip that one. Okay, second anchor, origin, where you're from. This gives people like instant context, geography, maybe a bit of culture.
The standard phrase is just, I am from country place, so I am from Canada, or I am from the United States. Just saying that one thing gives a lot of information, and often, it leads to the first follow-up question someone might ask.
Good point. And that difference between where you're from and where you live, now your current location, that's our third anchor. And this is where I think the strategy starts to come in. The guide shows how to use like simple contrast to paint a picture really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Someone might ask, do you live in a big city? And instead of a really long answer, the sources give these nice structured options. You could say, I live in a small town, it's quiet. Or the opposite, I live in a big city, it's busy. See how those simple words, quiet, busy, they immediately tell you something about the feel of your life? Makes it more interesting.
Totally. And the little details help too, right? Like, do you live in a house or an apartment? I remember one example mentioned a small house and it had a garden. Another was a small apartment, but they added it was very nice. Those tiny descriptions make a basic fact feel more, well, human, relatable.
Absolutely. They really do humanize things. Okay, the last essential anchor is profession, or studies, basically, what you do. This tells people what your main focus is right now.
And the sentences are nice and clean. I am a job title, or I am a student. The source gave us, I am an English teacher, and I am a student, specifying, I study art, drawing, and painting.
And what's really useful there is being specific. Don't just say, I'm a teacher. If you can say, I'm an English teacher, that immediately helps the other person understand more. And like the source pointed out, saying you're, say, an English teacher and an art student shows two different sides of you. That gives people more ways to connect, more things to ask about. You've given them like 4 clear starting points now.
Right. So we've got the basics covered. Name, origin, location, and purpose. Your anchors. But now, here's where we go from just facts to something more, interesting. Adding personality.
Yes, let's call these the conversation hooks. Now, these are optional. You don't have to share all this. You pick and choose depending on the situation. But adding a couple of these can really make your introduction memorable.
Okay, let's start with an easy one. Maybe age, but only if you're comfortable sharing, of course. I am number years old. The examples were, I am 28 years old. I am 25 years old.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward, but sometimes it gives useful context.
Next up, family and pets. These are always great conversation starters. Everyone relates to family or pets somehow. So for family, you could mention brothers or sisters. I have one brother, or I have one sister.
And here's a tip from the source.
Right.
Don't just list facts. Pick one interesting detail. So instead of just, I have a sister, maybe say what she does. Like the example, my sister studies music and plays the piano. That little detail about music, that's a hook. Someone might ask about it.
Same idea with parents' jobs. If you decide to mention them, focus on something memorable. We saw that example of a father who's a chef and cooks delicious food. The key takeaway for you, listening, is maybe use a nice, positive word about the job. Makes it conversational, not just a list.
Then pets. Yes, always a winner. The strategy here wasn't just the pet's name, but using like 3 simple, vivid words. Remember Max the dog? He was brown, friendly, funny, and Luna the cat. Black and white, quiet, sleepy. Focus on those describing words. They tell a little story right away.
Now, let me ask you something. If someone follows this guide, lists their name, job, then 3 adjectives for their pet, isn't there a risk they sound a bit robotic, like they just memorized a script?
That's a really important question. And yeah, if you just rattle it off like a list, it could sound robotic. But the idea from the sources is that these points are invitations. You share a detail, maybe pause slightly, give the other person a chance to jump in. And honestly, nothing shows personality faster than talking about your likes and dislikes. This is
Yeah.
the quickest way to seem relatable.
Exactly. This is the fun part. Let's look at the examples from the source. Favorite food? Pizza, maybe vegetable, or pepperoni or pasta. Favorite color? Blue, because it's calm, like the sky. Or green, because it's like nature, trees, grass. The strategy seems to be always link your favorite thing to a simple feeling or reason. Why blue? Because it's calm. That makes it more meaningful than just saying blue.
Right. And hobbies show what you do for fun, that you have a life outside work or study. We saw painting to relax, reading adventure stories, listening to rock music, playing soccer. Again, specifying why you do it, like painting to relax, adds that extra layer.
But here's a little secret weapon for personality. Talking about what you dislike, provided, of course, there's small, relatable things, not, big controversial issues. The guide gives some perfect, safe examples. Not liking olives, not liking really spicy food, not liking to wait in long lines.
Oh, that last one, not liking long lines, who doesn't relate to that? When you share a little dislike like that, something common, it instantly creates a bit of connection, like, oh yeah, me too. It's a quick way to bond.
So if we put it all together, the goal is simple clarity. With a touch of personality, you can make a really nice, friendly intro with just the main points, maybe one hook, something like, "Hi, I'm Emily. I'm an art student. I love cats and pasta, but I really don't like waking up early."
That flows really well. Okay, now we have the whole toolkit, the essentials, and the personality hooks. Let's put just those first few essential points into practice. We'll do a very simple, slow, clear little dialogue using just name, origin, and job study. Listen to the pacing and how clear it sounds.
Okay, tell me about yourself.
My name is Emily. I am from Canada. I am a student, and I study art.
Nice to meet you. My name is Paul. I'm from the United States. I am an English teacher.
See, super efficient. In just a few sentences, we know who they are, where they're from, and what they do. The really great thing about this structured approach, as the source emphasizes, is that it's an invitation to share. It's not some scary test where you have to reveal everything.
Which brings us to maybe the most important point. You need to adapt. You have to choose which parts of this framework to use based on where you are, who you're talking to, the social context.
Can you give us some specific examples? How would you adapt this?
Sure. So if you're in, let's say, a new class or maybe starting a new job, a more professional setting, you probably want to focus on the anchors, your name, where you're from, and definitely your job or why you're in that class. You might share why you're learning English, for instance. Keep it relevant to the situation.
Okay, makes sense. But what if it's like a party or just meeting someone casually?
Right. Then you can probably skip the detailed job talk unless it comes up naturally. Focus more on the personality hooks. Your name, maybe a hobby, your favorite food, or that funny thing about your pet. You want to keep the conversation light, open, and friendly.
The key is choosing details that give the other person something easy to respond to, right? If you say, I play soccer, they can easily ask, oh, cool, what team do you follow? Or do you play often?
Exactly. The simple sentences become bridges for communication.
Okay, perfect. Now it's your turn, listener. Let's get you practicing right now using this structure. We want you to put together a simple 3-part introduction just using the sentence types we talked about.
Yeah, try formulating these sentences. Your name, your job, or what you study, and maybe one hobby or something you like. Say them out loud if you can, or just in your head. Use those simple structures we analyzed.
For instance, my name is your name. I am your job student. I love your hobby, and I usually do it on weekends. Something like that.
And remember the main advice. Keep it simple, keep it clear, and try to sound friendly. Honestly, even just a small smile when you speak, or even when you practice, it changes how you sound. Confidence often comes from having a clear structure.
So what's the big takeaway here? It means you now have a plan, a toolkit for answering, tell me about yourself. You know that good introductions have those essential anchors, name, origin, location, purpose, and you can make them even better with personality hooks, likes, dislikes, hobbies, family, pets. You don't need big, fancy words, just simple, clear, and, well, strategic sentences.
Don't be afraid to actually try this out next time you meet someone new. Practice making these simple sentences feel natural for you. You'll find introductions become less scary, maybe even, enjoyable.
We've really enjoyed breaking down this framework with you today, showing how simple, clear communication works. Thanks so much for joining this deep dive.
Keep practicing those sentences, and we look forward to our next fun deep dive together.